Oh, wait, no, no, right. That's fine. Let me, okay, that should be okay. Yeah. You can tell no one wanted to be on my team, so I'm joking. That's a joke. And nevertheless, my name is Ram, and this is YAL, which stands for yet another LLM. And just to understand the use case here, let's take a look at the POV, which I'll read verbatim. A mobile shopper who starts with a specific item in mind needs a conversational AI copilot that instantly gathers the best options, exposes every fee, and flags seller trust because tiny screen apps scatter those details, forcing tedious back and forth searches that stall an otherwise smooth search to purchase journey. So from this POV alone, we can kind of extrapolate three key tasks or features rather. You have to gather options of a particular product that you want. You have to expose every fee. This includes taxes and hidden fees and shipping and so forth. And then you have to flag seller trust because obviously when you're shopping online, there are some untrustworthy sites. And I think as far as this product is concerned, what makes it special is that you start with a specific item in mind. So instead of going to a particular website, browsing, and then coming across a product, think of the product you like, and then it moves backward from there and searches the internet if it's a product match, if so it exists. So that's kind of what I just explained. You know, the person traditionally starts with a product, goes to a website, looks for a product. But this kind of paradigm is a choice first model where you think of the product and then the website comes up and then it's delivered to the person. So that's kind of the difference between a choice first versus a discovery first shopping model. So YAL is a choice first model. You think of the product first and then you move forward to the website there. This was particularly gleaned from Ideation 2, where someone had mentioned, well, I would much rather like to see whether or not product exists. I want to be hyper specific about a particular product and then work from there. So just kind of encapsulating all those facts, these are the user goals and user needs. You want to quickly locate a specific item without jumping across multiple apps or tabs. You want to see the real all-in cost up front. You want to feel confident about the seller's reliability. We spoke about this. And then just on the other end of that, we talked about the user needs here, which is really just the logical translation of those goals, which are a little bit more specific. And we'll see that in the prototype in specific that's gleaned from milestone 3. So we started with the prototype here, and by we, I mean myself. And I started with Balsamiq. Balsamiq is kind of a wireframing app. It's stagnant, so it doesn't actually have the ability for you to transition through screens. So the idea there was, okay, well, if you're searching online, pull from those searches, and then you kind of get an aggregation. So this is kind of a Chrome extension. You get an aggregation of the results that includes things like what the product is, how much it costs, so on and so forth, what's its color, and what's its trust rating. And then here on the bottom, you kind of have, can see the estimated shipping costs. The problem here, as far as the feedback is concerned, is that in order to see things, you have to click things. It's not just up front. And then, of course, this also looks not so good, but it's low fidelity. So, and so I received feedback that you would want the trust ratings to be color coded. You would want the total cost to be implemented. You would want to be able to select which product you would want of the aggregation of products you see here. And then you want a final checkout screen. And so I evolved the design in relation to the feedback. And, you see a final checkout screen here. You see the color coded, trustability rating, the ability to add a product, which was also told to me, which was I would like to specifically add a link instead of depending on the AI to make an educated guess as to which products to pull. Now, the problem here was that this was a Chrome extension, and what I later learned was that most mobile shoppers, or not mobile shoppers, but most people who shop online would rather prefer to shop on mobile. And just to demonstrate the point, raise some hands. How many of you shop online, but it's mobile predominantly instead of on your computer? See how yeah. So yeah, 50-50. So the specific thing was 75% of online mobile people who shop traditionally do that on mobile. And then also it's kind of missing the LLM component. And by that, I mean, I would like for the LLM to assist the user across every stage of thinking about the product, finding the product, and then buying the product. And so I kind of evolved it to being a mobile app instead of a Chrome extension called YAO. And the encapsulation of summary resistance is fully assisted LLM across the whole life cycle of the purchase. So we moved away from the Chrome extension model to actually a mobile app that supports that statistic. And of course, instead of using Balsamic, I used Figma so that I could actually get that transitional behavior. And so these are some of the core screens here. We start off with a login. You search for a particular product, and just for high learnability, I've kind of included a prompt that could potentially be entered by a user. And then you get the list of products that match that hyper-specific prompt. And then here at the bottom, you can see that the LLM can actually assist you in refining that search, and I'll kind of demo that. Now this is kind of representative of the demo, which I'll get to anyway, so I might as well do that. So here I'm logging in, and I have the ability to kind of unmask the password here. I'll be the hypothetical user, and so I'll sign in. And as you can see, let's suppose I wanted a yellow dress for some reason. The yellow dress under $50. And then I can send off the search query, and you see that I get only dresses that are $50 or less. Now, again, the specialty of it being an LLM is here at the bottom. I can say, okay, well, of the searches I have, I would much rather it be cotton. So I send off the result for cotton, and then it says, okay, well, no problem, and I can then view the results. And so here, I only see the results that are yellow dresses under $50 that are of cotton. And you can see that it is basically indicating that, yeah, those searches, the yellow dresses were prioritized with an emphasis on cotton. And then, of course, of these results, I could then select which product I would want. And then as you see, the cart actually updates dynamically on the basis of what I'm choosing here. And then, of course, you saw the Balsamic, the trustability rating. This is kind of the translation of that. I have cost, I have taxes, I have trust. And so in this particular case, I see, well, one of them I'd much rather remove, and then I can apply coupons, and then I can apply them, and then the price drops, and that's pretty much it. And of course, a last thank you slide. That's it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we have covered.